Hi everybody, Kelly here from the Farm on Highway J. How's everybody doing after the Jingle Ball? If you went, hopefully some of you did. I might have seen a few people there. I really didn't get into some of the meet and greets well, I saw all the meet and greets. I didn't get into some of the stitching rooms very much. I don't know, I guess I'm still shy. Or just I went into a few of the rooms and didn't really recognize anybody, and I had some projects going on, so I just kind of either hung around in the background or I just went ahead and went to the grand ballroom and watched the videos and worked on my projects and did that sort of thing. But maybe on the next one that they're going to do in the spring, I will maybe get into a few more of the rooms and actually be able to hang out with some people. It's kind of one of those things to me where I feel like if I knew that somebody else was going to be there and I was kind of meeting them in those rooms, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. But just kind of going in and starting to talk, that's difficult for me. So, but anyhow, it was fun. And one of the things that I did leading up to the Jingle Ball that I really am glad that I did was actually to kind of take a look through my stash before I attended, just so that I saw a lot of the charts that I already have and things that I'm working on and etc. So I had a lot of inspiration as far as things that I currently have that I want to be working on. So when I went to the Jingle Ball, there was a little bit less temptation to purchase everything. And so to that end, I really only got a couple of the complimentary charts, and I purchased two things. One was the porcupine from the Blue Flower. I just thought that was a cute little porcupine. And it was for a donation for, I forget the name of the organization, but it was like an animal rescue place. So I liked that one. And then the other one was a really cute ornament that I'm going to do for somebody that if I showed it, they'd know who they were, so I can't show it. But anyhow, so the other thing I wanted to go over is what's hanging in the background here. So I have these two panels here that I purchased I didn't purchase them. I got them in a scrap back. I did purchase them. I got them in a scrap box from So Yeah last year. And so I don't have any of the fabric that actually goes with this line, but I've hung them here for inspiration for how I'm going to finish them. As in, I thought about sandwiching them together and just using them for quilting practice on my little domestic machine here. And then I thought about what I might have in my stash that would coordinate with them, that I can do some borders and make it into actual throw size quilt, and possibly make two of them then instead of just sandwiching them together. And I've thought about trying to find out if I can get some fabric from this line, which that's going to be my last option. I am trying to shop my stash right now, and well, for the foreseeable future. And so I would like to just use what I have in this room. So for right now, they're just hanging here for inspiration, and they're cute snowmen. So it's perfect. Nice background. Alright, a couple of finishes that I've had since we last talked are more Thanksgiving related than Christmas related. And by the way, we're coming up on Christmas, aren't we? Just a couple days away here. Unless you're watching this in the future, then I hope you had a good Christmas. But if you're watching this on Saturday, December 21st, I believe, we're coming up on Christmas, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. But anyhow, so a couple of the finishes that I have are from Thanksgiving, and so this is my first one, which I may have shown in the last video. I think I showed the stitch that I was still stitching on it, but I didn't show the finish. And so I think it has turned out fairly cute. It's just a little, it's filled with polyfill, so it's not real extremely sturdy, but it's just a cute little finish. And I was able to use a couple of the scraps from the barn quilt that I just finished as well. And I just thought it was kind of cutesy and fallish, and used up some nice scraps. That's the backing. So I'll show you. I was going to put a little patch over the back here because I didn't sew it together very well, but it's just kind of a cutesy little pillow that'll just sit out as a decoration at Thanksgiving. And I think I told you before that I messed up on the turkey, but I think he's still a cute little folksy kind of little, well, not so little. He's a nice plump turkey. So I've got that. And then also with those scraps, I was sort of working on a portfolio project. I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to change a lot of things, but it's still usable to me, and so I'm going to keep it. So basically, among the things that I did wrong, so cute little portfolio project, whipper keeper, whatever you want to call it, not done correctly. I've seen people that have used the elastic. What I should have done, I didn't follow any pattern, so what I should have done was actually put the elastic on the outside front of the keeper, and then I could, when it's folded closed like this, it'll be closed around at the back, and so the cover would still look like this. And then when I open it up and lay it out on the table, this would be on the bottom side. But what I'm going to do is actually cut this off because I don't like it. For one thing, I gave it a little tension so that when it starts to really get stretched out, it doesn't suddenly not work because it's too stretched out to actually keep it closed. But I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, and I'm going to insert snaps so that I can snap them at the edges. And then what I have done inside here is actually made a big pocket for putting in my pattern. Most of my patterns are actually booklet size, and so I'll put that in there. And then I've got a couple pockets for like a little needle holder and some scissors, etc. And then I did the little loop for being able to put the ring of flosses on here and set it on the table, and you got your little workspace right here. So it's okay. It's okay for me, but like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put snaps on it. I think the next one that I try to do will be more of a, I like the bags, but I also like this idea for being able to just lay it out on your desk or your table, and to be able to carry it more like a trapper keeper type situation. And so I think maybe on my next one, what I will try to do with some scraps is actually build it similar to this, put a piece of vinyl on the outside, a zippered vinyl, so that I could put the pattern in there if I wanted to, but I would also do the inside portion as still, because I don't necessarily love the idea of putting my pattern inside of the vinyl, because if I throw this in my car, I wouldn't throw this in my car in the heat of summer because it's a fall keeper. I probably wouldn't do that. But if it's a summertime one, and I would throw this in my car in the heat of summer, and it would ruin my pattern, and I don't want to do that. So or risk that even. But it is a nice feature on them, so I might try that. And then I think for the next one, I will, instead of snaps, try to do like a zipper in it instead. Just because if you do put scissors and needles in these little pockets, if I'm not one to really like throw throw it around or anything like that. But if you're not real careful, the stuff will come sliding right out of the pockets. And so I don't want to do that. But this one is actually pretty good for just carrying from upstairs to downstairs. It's a nice one for home. So, and it'll be nicer once I take that elastic off, because it really didn't work. Anyhow, and I've been kind of showing it around, but I might not be showing it up high enough. So, and it literally is just scraps. I had no plan for making it pretty, putting the star, like, I guess I did a little bit. I put the strips in a certain order, but I had no plan for centering the barn or anything like that. It was just how it was, and sewed them together, and that's it. So it didn't turn out too bad for being scraps. All right, well, hopefully my little necklace isn't too distracting. So I've been doing some Christmas stitching as well. I'm sure a lot of you have. And working on a variety of projects right now. Getting gifts ready still, and just enjoying starting things to be able to continue working on them next year. So let's go through a few of those. All right, a couple bags here. So my first one is a snowman, and I started this one during the Jingle Ball, just because I thought it would be super easy to do the fill while I was trying to pay attention to some of the videos and designers, etc. And so I just have some more fill to do right here. I will probably work on this one this weekend, just because we'll be doing holiday stuff and whatnot, and I can't pay attention to a cross stitch while I'm trying to do stuff like that. So it's a good one to kind of be half paying attention to. But he's just a cute little snowman. And this one actually was from, oh, I put the book away already. It was from like 2005 in the Better Homes and Gardens Christmas Countdown book, something like that. I'll see if I can't find it and try to add that onto the end of the video. It's got lots of really cute patterns. Yeah, it's a little bit older, but they're adorable. I found it on the secondary market. Well, I shouldn't say second. I found it on eBay, I think, for like $8, something like that, and just tons of patterns in it that are so cute. So, all right, next one is my Christmas list, and that is by Silver Creek Samplers. My Christmas list, and it's a very long, very cute Christmas list, and I've only just got started on it, so I only have so much done. And this is on, I think it's on 40 Count Baked Clay by Fox and Rabbit, and it was just a 13 by 18 piece that I'd found at Country Sampler, and so it was begging to be stitched using, this particular pattern really fit this one well. It's going to have just a little bit more margin on this side than it needs to have, but it was a nice chart for this long skinny piece of fabric. So alright, so I've got that, and then actually let me go ahead and put this one back in my bag here, or I'll get all mixed up. I hate that when I get mixed up on what's what. It's really hard to stay organized then. So the next things in my bag here are not ones that I've started, but I would like to very soon. And I'm thinking these are going to be part of my 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve. And so I need to keep count here how many projects I have already started to work on during that day, and then how many I need to start. And one of the ones that I would like to start is Tree Farm by the Primitive Hare. I think I talked in the last video that this really reminds me of my gramps, because he used to work at Sinisippi Creek Christmas Tree Farm. He lived down the road, and we would go out there, and it's just a really neat place and neat memories. And so I would like to do that and hang it next to his picture then. So got that one, and then the Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve. And I think that would actually go fairly quickly. I thought about stitching just the ornaments down here that are down there. That might be that might be pretty quick on those, so that might be fun. All right, so that bag, and then the one I've been stitching on today, if I have it here, and I probably don't have it in order. Of course not. So I just started. In fact, I won't even really bring it out to show the start, but I just started the Lady Claus from Fat Quarter Shop, and she's going to be really cute. So I will be working on that over the next week. And so what else have I got in here? Ooh, this one. The Fabulous House series #1 from Cottage Garden Samplers and Santa's House. I just love how it's just, I love those colors. I love those colors. So, and the only thing I have a little bit of concern about is I did not have the called for fabric for this pattern. The called for was Fox and Rabbit Prehistoric was the name of it. And I didn't have that, and so I was kind of looking for something with that gray tone to it. And the only thing I could find, it looked nice, but then when I stitched the white on it, it was very much ghosted. Like I could not see the white at all. And so instead, I've decided to do, I probably didn't keep it. Where did I put it? Oh, I didn't keep note of it. Well, I had it here somewhere. It's Fiber on a Whim. It's a 40 count, and I want to say ice, but I think that was the one that I chose not to do. So, well, unfortunately, I'm not sure what fabric this is, but that's my start. And I've just started the border slightly, and I already ran into a snowflake. So I just went ahead and started stitching that. You can kind of see here how you really have to do the white stuff before the red color. So that's kind of what I'm working on. Alright, so let me put this stuff back together. And then we will continue here in a second. Sorry. Alright, put that back in there. Oh, I might have just broke my glasses. Uh-oh. So I wear glasses, but in order to stitch on 40 count, I need a much stronger magnifier than, or not much stronger, but a slightly stronger magnifier than what I normally wear. So I have cheap $1.50 a pair glasses in a lot of my bags, and those came from the Dollar Tree. So okay, next I have Santa with Ann and Ted by Teresa Kogut. And I am going to finish him as, I'm hoping to finish him as like a stuffed toy, a stand-up doll type thing. So forgive my thread here, but I have just barely started on his coat. So there's a lot more to go, but I got to start on it anyhow. So not much of one, but maybe I'll get a little bit more on the 12 by 12 for New Year's Eve. But anyhow, that's the computer rendering of it, and I think it's going to be adorable. I grew up with Raggedy Ann, so that's anything that Teresa Kogut does. I just love her designs, and I think she's a really good artist. So, alright, so next, for the Jingle Ball, the Blue Flower had one of the classes, and her class was, if I can find it here, the pattern anyhow. Somewhere I have a picture. You know what? It's on my computer. That's right. I forgot. I'm stitching this off of, it's actually on my tablet. I'm stitching this off of my tablet. So it's not a biscornu. People were calling it like a muffin. And you won't get the idea of it from this fabric here if you're not a stitcher, but it actually is made so that you do all the stitching on here. I have to have 2 more points along in here, and then I do all the little motifs and stitching in here, and then you actually would cut out along here about 1/4 of an inch away from the stitching, and you stitch these pieces together along the V shape there, and then it makes like a, well, people were calling it a muffin, and so let's go with that. It's like a huge pincushion is what it'll be. So I got a little bit further along. You can see I'm starting to get the ox in there. And yeah, so this will actually be probably taking me at least until next year. So, or I should say, I'll work on it some more, I'll put it away, and then I'll start on it again next Christmas. So, or maybe even before Thanksgiving. Because it has a Christmassy kind of tone to it, but it's not. My other project in this particular bag, which I have not started yet, but I might start for the 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve, is the North Pole Chamber of Commerce. And that one was a inexpensive little chart that I think I got from Fat Quarter Shop. So I don't know which one I would want to start first. Honestly, I might do the paddle first, actually, because I'd be stitching it in January or December 31st going into January, so I might finish it in January then. So we'll see. Alright, so I'm going to put this back in here. And then, pretty sure I just have my flosses in this little scrappy made up bag here. Yeah, just my flosses. So nothing to show there, right? Alright, so, and then here we have, well, sorry, give me 1 second. Let me get the pattern here. Uh-oh. And of course, I left the picture in the middle of the package, so. Sorry about that. Let me get the picture. Well, I thought I left it in the middle. There we go. So, Geppettos by Little House Needleworks. And I just think it's a cute little toy shop. And it says, in the land of toys, every day except Sunday is Saturday. That is so true. Alright, so I have gone ahead and taken this one out of the hoop for a little while because I wasn't sure how soon I would get back to it. But that's my start on that one. And I may stitch a little bit on that on New Year's Eve, but otherwise it is probably going away until next Christmas. Well, until next December. And not really going away, just getting tucked away to rest a while. Alright. So I will package that up later. Okay. Well, so that's my stitching so far this month. And one last thing to go over with y'all. So, my other potential starts for the 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve are the Yule Goddess. I thought kind of a Christmassy look with some of the motifs in that, but really it's more of a winter solstice type stitch. Probably kind of less Christmas and more nature type look to it. So, and then this is actually a freebie from Zweigart called Nordic Moose, and I think that's really cute. I think I don't know if I have that blue fabric, but I have something very similar that I think that will work on. So those are two that are potential ones for starting on the 12 by 12 for New Year's Eve. And then if I can find it, which I probably can't because I probably just buried it. But I have one other one that I would like to start after midnight on New Year's Day. So I am actually I work second shift, so I'm very used to being up past midnight. In fact, right now it's about 2:45 in the morning. So I'm pretty used to being up after midnight. So I think that night I will do the 12 by 12, and then I will probably start something that will take me into the new year, which will be, if I can find it here, the reindeer. And I just think he's leaping into the new year. So I think that will be adorable. It's a thing that I'll remember next year when I pick it back up again at Christmas. Unless, sometimes it seems like a really big stitch, but then when I start looking at it, it's actually probably not that large. It doesn't really say the stitch count on the back here. Oh, 100 by 130. So it's not too bad. But if you only work on it for 3 hours, I'm not that fast. I won't get very much done. In fact, I don't really know where exactly I would start on that. So I'm usually a top left-hand starter on cross stitch, but I might choose on something like that to start the little cabin right there, just so that I can count off of that point. Or I might start with the reindeer horns. We'll see. So anyhow, all right, well, that's it for my stitching. And like I said, I haven't got much quilting going on, but I've put these up here for some inspiration. Let me know if you've got any ideas, what you think I should, how you think I should finish these. Should I just go ahead and sandwich them together and use them for quilting practice and bind them? Or should I actually do some cutting and sashing in between, in which case I need to find some material, because I pretty much decided I'm not going to go buy anything. I'm going to try to find it from my stash. But I just don't know that I have something that'll blend really well with that. If I could find some of this color or red, I think that would be a good option. But I don't know that I have that. And so I may, on New Year's Eve day, I may also post some things to Instagram, some pictures to Instagram to show some options. So yeah, be sure and check out my Instagram, and like I said, hopefully on New Year's Day I'll post that, and then everybody can give me some advice, or just give me some advice in the comments. All right, well, thank you for watching today, and I hope you have a good holiday and a good new year, and I'll see you in the new year. Are you still with me? All right, one last thing. So I got the Mystery Star Quilt box, Advent box again this Christmas, and so I've been opening some of the things, and I have quite a few of them up here to share already, but not all of them, and I think I'm gonna wait until January to show them, because I know there's a lot of people that save it all for Christmas Day, etc. But I do have one thing that I would like to show. So if you don't want to see it, definitely go away now. All right. So I have one thing. There's a lot of things in here that I really thought were cute, but the one thing that I'd kind of like to show, because I'm looking forward to stitching on this. Last year we got the stuff for making this little pillow right here. But this year, we get to do the embroidery. And they gave us the frame. I just think it's so cute. I can't wait to do that for my Christmas decorations. Not that I got very many of my Christmas decorations out this year, but, you know, sometimes you gotta change it up. Some years you do everything, some years you do this thing and not that thing, and vice versa the next year, right? And so I just think this is really cute. I think it can stay up all winter. Actually, depending on who you are and where you're at, you might leave it up all the time. I will probably take it down, but leave it up during the winter. In fact, I could put it up at Thanksgiving. I'd be fine with putting it up at Thanksgiving and taking it down sometime in April. Yeah, lots of good stuff in there. All right, bye. Okay, now I'm going to go stitch.